Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Falling Forward Financial. Just an update here on GM. I've talked about them on the channel here in the past a couple times, as well as Ford, Tesla, Neo, Xpeng, Li Auto, Rivian, Workhorse, a bunch of EVs. But this is GM. Isn't that funny? It's up 0% in the past year, up $0. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That is kind of crazy. 52.72. Huh. Interesting. So GM ticker is GM. Here's a look at the last year. Past 3 months down, we'll just call it 5%. In the last month, down over 13%. In the last week, down 1%. And here's a look at today. So, kind of down. I have 3 shares here at cost basis of $35. I think right after I bought that, it went down to about 33, 32. I forget. Didn't have any money to buy any more. I wanted to put it into something else, but if you don't know what GM is, they own Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, quite a few different. Been around since 1908. 34.37 million, a little bit more than average of 23.27. $77.67 billion market cap, 52-week low of $47.07, 52-week high of $67.21. 84% buy on this one, so can't beat that. And here's a look at their earnings. Was expected, estimated at $1.19 and $1.35 per share on earnings. Here's my last dividend. So they haven't brought their dividend back on. So I've had this for 2 years and got a little bit of a return. So, but need to bring that dividend back for sure. Ford brought theirs back, so we'll wait for GM to do the same. GM reveals strong demand for Silverado EV. How do the numbers stack up against Ford, Tesla, and Rivian? This is dated here today. That's kind of a cool looking truck. So GM announced its quarterly financial results Tuesday, which were accompanied by reservation numbers of some of its most highly anticipated electric vehicles. Strong demand is driving the acceleration of our EV manufacturing, according to the Detroit automaker. GM delivered its first Hummer EV pickups to customers during the quarter and announced it had 59,000 combined reservations for the pickup and SUV versions of the electric Hummer. I can't wait to see the electric Hummer when that comes out. I did a video on that a while back. I believe it's got like 1,000 horsepower. It just sounds like a beast. So maybe they'll get those back into the military again, like the other Hummers you see on the movies all the time. It's always cool to see a Hummer, but GM also began delivering its Bright Drop EV600 cargo vans. I've done videos on this one, talks about those as well, to customers during the quarter. FedEx Merchants Fleet and Walmart are among the company's largest fleet customers, adopting the Bright Drop electric vehicles and technology to make their delivery operations more efficient. So between FedEx and Walmart, that should be a pretty good chunk of sales and some good revenue for them. GM said that more than 25,000 production reservations for Bright Drop electric cargo vans. In order to meet demand, the company plans to start additional production at the Chemie plant in Ontario, Canada, near the end of 2022. And I want to thank you all my Canada viewers. I'm getting a good percentage of Canada, so I always like to see people watching outside of the United States. So the Ultima platform based pickup has amassed more than 110,000 reservations since pre-orders became available less than a month ago. More than 240 fleet operators have already placed reservations for the Silverado EV, according to GM. Why it's important, the Chevrolet Silverado EV will directly compete with other electric pickups being introduced in the market, including Rivian, which I think I've done one or two videos about them. Tesla, I've done several. And the Cybertruck by Ford, and I've done videos on Ford. So right after the pandemic in March of 2020, I was buying Ford for $5, and now look at it. So wish I would have bought a bunch more. Ford announced in December that it had to stop taking reservations for the F-150 Lightning, which received 200,000 pre-orders, which was beyond production capacity. Well, that's a good problem to have. This year represents a turning point for Ford in electrified vehicles, as our electrified portfolio grew at nearly 4 times the rate of the industry segment, with E-Transit and F-150 Lightning set to hit the market, Ford said in a January sales update Wednesday morning. Tesla's Cybertruck also outsized demand when it was first announced. However, it was been delayed multiple times, and the company now anticipates that it will be ready for production hopefully next year. Wow. Tesla's next-gen electric truck has reported to receive more than 1.2 million reservations. So, good sign, good reservations on each company. So, GM doesn't expect to begin delivering its Silverado EV until next year, with work truck models for fleet customers set to be the first off of the line in the spring of 2023. GM has traded as low as $47.07 and as high as $67.21 over the 52-week period. Shares of the automaker were down 3.64% at $52.11 at the time of publication. Over on Bing, currently showing it as a buy with a 1-year price target of $77.93. General Motors could rally after earnings. And reports Q4 2021 results after Tuesday's closing bell, which we kind of already went over the earnings, so just going to scroll through this one. For those of you who like to go right to the source, it's on Yahoo Finance. So did good job on the ratings. GMC's high cost shift as to budget cars, capping profit. This is 13 hours ago. Sees signs of easing in the semiconductor shortage that curbed vehicle output last year, but cautioned that a shift in producing low margin models and rises in material prices will cap profit this year. Like most automakers, GM dealt with the unprecedented supply crunch and prioritizing its most profitable vehicles at the expense of higher volume models with lower margins. Manufacturer was hit among the hardest in the fourth quarter, when a 43% drop in domestic sales forced the company to relinquish its crown as top U.S. automaker for the first time since 1931. Detroit-based automaker is seeing sizable supply chain pressure on commodities. GM expects 2022 earnings roughly in line with the year just ended. Company forecasts earnings before interest and tax $13 billion to $15 billion in 2022. Adjusted earnings per share $6.25 to $7.25. Compares $14.3 billion in adjusted earnings last year and $7.07 a share. So very good year for GM. GM grabs $2 billion worth of windfall as used car price hit record, and this is 11 hours ago. There's a big upside record used car prices. Auto lenders, GM Financial, are cashing in. Did a video on Alphabet. The stock split is pretty interesting. Can't wait for it. GM lending unit booked a $2 billion gain last year, reselling the vehicles that came back from expired leases and anything the company repossessed. according to regulatory filing Wednesday that helped GM Financial to nearly double an annual profit of $5 billion, allowing it to pay a $3.5 billion dividend back to the automaker. And so we'll see when they bring the dividend back. Ford did, I believe, a month or two ago, but we'll have to see when GM decides to follow suit. So over here on Reddit, let's see if there's any relevant information here up to date. Nothing. Over here on StockTwits, currently at 53.50 with a 52-week low of $47.07, high of $67.21. Another Facebook debacle here. Ouch. I just did a video on Facebook. That's interesting. Seeing an uptick in cheddar. Nothing really there that we haven't already went over. Over here on tip ranks, with a strong buy of 46% upside to 78.17, high of 100. That's interesting. Low of 53. And if you have a GM, go ahead and list that in the comments along with your cost basis, any other information you'd like to share. And if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is J Money, Falling Forward Financial. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.